rehearsal, a church's meeting, and supporting your pastor will sometimes get you in trouble. What happened was David had killed Goliath, and the children of Israel got so happy that they started singing songs about him. And they said that David could kill 10,000, but they said Saul could only kill 1,000. Now David was the anointed king, but he did not take office until about another 40 years, so Saul was still in office. And they were singing songs. If I'm the king and my people are singing that I can only kill 1,000, but this young man who's my armor bearer he can kill 10,000. I can understand why Saul got a little upset. You all know Saul. Saul was the one that God took the Holy Spirit back from. It's a dangerous situation when you don't have the Holy Spirit. That's why David wrote, "Cast me not from your presence and take not your spirit from me," because David saw what it's like for the Holy Spirit not to be there. And just wait till the rapture comes and the Holy Spirit is taken away from the earth. This is going to be a dangerous place. So what happened was they were singing these songs about David. And David got in trouble, and the Bible teaches us that Saul tried to kill David some 21 odd times. Some 21 odd times. So David found himself on the run from his own family. He found himself on the run from King Saul, because Saul couldn't stand him. Although every time David played his music, Saul's evil spirit would go away. Saul tried to kill him. And isn't it just like family? Sometimes your worst enemy are those who are sitting right on. Sometimes the ones that are holding you back are the ones you live with. Sometimes family and friends are the ones that are going to keep you from getting your blessing. So David found himself on the run. But the text will tell you that he found himself in the presence of another enemy. He found himself in the presence of the priest Abimelech. And Abimelech was the Philistine priest. And the Philistine was the camp where Goliath was from. So David found himself running from Saul, who was trying to kill him, and the very camp that wanted to kill his whole generation. And isn't that just like life? We find ourselves running from one enemy to another enemy, running from one trouble to another trouble. If it ain't your bills this week, it's your body next week. If it ain't your family this week, it's your job next week. If it ain't your job this week, it's school next week. If it ain't your job or school this week, it's your parents getting on your nerves. If it ain't your mama, it's your dad. If it ain't your dad, it's your auntie, it's your sisters. I wish I just had a little something. It always seems like we're running from trouble to trouble. The Bible teaches us that David had a choice. Because he found himself in the Philistine camp. And they were saying, isn't this David? Isn't this the one that just killed our best soldier? Isn't this the one that they were singing songs about? Didn't they say he can kill 10,000? He only killed one person. But they said he can kill 10,000. Isn't this the anointed king? Isn't this the man that they say is after God's own heart? Isn't this David? And what David did to save his life, he acted like he was crazy. The Bible teaches us that he was scratching on the gate. He was scratching on the gate, and I believe he was saying, yeah, "Who's David? Am I David? I'm David. I'm David. You might be David. Are you David?" He acted like he was crazy. Another thing that the Bible tells us that he allowed a little saliva to fall onto his beard. Now this may not mean anything to you, but the children of Israel, the beard, you did not mess with a man's beard because it was his emblem of authority, of power, of his kingship, of his being different, because everybody else was shaving their face. All the other Gentiles were shaving their face. And when they would capture a child of Israel, the first thing they wanted to do, they didn't want to torture him. They didn't want to cut up his skin and flash him. They would shave his head and they would cut off his beard. Let me just stop right there. There's something about when a man is a man. I thought I could got a little more help from the brothers right there. There's something about when a man is a man. I know society is talking about metrosexuality and tolerating homosexuality, but there's something. There's something. I thought the women would at least back up on that. There's something about when a man talks like a man, when he stands firm-footed like a man, when he walks with his chest out and allows the woman to switch, and he just walks firmly. When he smiles like a man, when he talks like a man, when he talks like a man, when he provides like a man. Maybe he might not love you, because if he loved you, he would have gave you something. He said, "For God so loved the world that he gave." If he ain't giving you nothing, he don't love you. I ain't gonna get so complicated. I know it's you there. Y'all didn't think we were going to talk about this. But it's something about when a man is a man. We used to have, I heard someone say, I believe it was my pastor that used to say that we used to have pretty women and hard-working men. Now we got pretty men and hard-working women. Right. They knew that David had to be crazy because no child of Israel would disrespect his beard. And it makes me think about in this life, sometimes in order to survive and in order to approve by God's sight and in order to please God, you got to do things that people will look at you and think that she got to be crazy. He's got to be crazy. How you going to talk about I'm rich and I know what his bills say? How you going to say by his stripes he's healed? And I was in the doctor's office when he got the diagnosis. You got to live in a way where people think you are crazy. You got to go look at the house and you know how your credit looks. You got to go look at the car. You know what's in the account. You got to know that you got to do things that people think you're crazy. Yeah?